Hello everybody, my name is VSDA100 and welcome to this week's vlog. This week's vlog is entitled Anime Recommendations. That's right, I'm going to be recommending anime, my own personal collection, and from what I know about certain anime to you. Now how this is going to work is going to be my personal collection, what I'm going to show you, and then recommendations upon which I am planning to see or I have not yet seen, but I'm still going to recommend to you anyway. And you know, hell, I'm going to be wanting to see these. Now you may have seen most of these or some of these, and if you have, that's fine. I won't lie. Probably some of these are classics. Maybe you haven't seen them. Maybe some of them are a bit niche and you haven't checked them out. But being an anime fan, I'm sure you stream loads. And hell, you've probably seen a hell of a lot more than me due to me wanting to see them dubbed and stuff like that. Now, anime or film in general is an art style, and all art is personal. What I might love, you may hate. What you love, I might hate. One example being mech animes. Not a big fan of them until one or two swayed me. But anyway, as I said, that's very picky I am with that. But that's just to give you an example. How I'm going to do this is, as I said, go through my personal collection and then recommendations and what I know about to a point. I'm going to start off with two animes, two very different animes. Now I'm going to play the sexes here, at least on two of these. I know, look, I don't care, you know, if you're a girl you like action, that's cool. I don't care. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. But I'm going to show two very different animes. Now this first one is just to say, if you want to get a guy or your boyfriend or whoever into anime, I would strongly recommend this. This is Ninja Scroll, a classic made in, I think, the 1980s, I believe. I think it's that old. I got the steelbook casing. It's an absolute classic, beautiful art book. Art on the cover there, really, really nice. This follows the story of a guy called Jubei. He's a drifter, and they have an actual series of this, but the series is not very good, and it's I didn't enjoy it as much. You know what I mean? You're better off just buying the movie, and you're pretty much, the whole thing's in there, and it's pretty unique anime. It's about a guy called Jubei, a drifter, who comes across a small village being attacked, or supposedly attacked by plague, and there's a ninja girl there who's part of the ninja operative team who's got to go and investigate this. She ends up being attacked or by these monsters or whoever, or demons. Shogun of the Dark, I believe they're called, their organization, who have supposedly cursed this village and what have you. I mean, I'm not going to go too much detail because I don't want to give away the plot. Of course, now with this vlog, plots and character names are going to be a bit sketchy. There's so many to talk about, I cannot remember all of them, so please bear with me in that. But what I'm going to say in this: monsters, demons, blood, gore, rape, like, oh man, relationship, you know, a bit of a love interest there, whatever. But it's got everything. This is a perfect anime to get someone into. You know what I mean? So I'd highly recommend this one. That's one for the guys. Again, playing the sexes here. Okay, and this is only with the first two animes, I might add. Now for the girls, again, if you're into relationships and character development, I've picked here a fantastic anime, and I don't have many romance animes, I've got to be honest with you. Toradora, on Blu-ray, dubbed, of course. All the ones I'm going to be showing you are dubbed because that's where I buy them. But yeah, Toradora, a fantastic anime to do with two people. I think her name's Tiger. They call her the Tiger, or what have you. And him and her both try to plot to get two other people to fall in love with them. They team up, and the relationship basically develops. It's comedy gold, I'll be honest with you. It is really funny. I really enjoyed it. The character development is there. It is the best of its genre, in my opinion, whatever. And I highly recommend this. As for the plot, well, I pretty much told you the plot, and the comedy ensues. But it's highly worth buying all day with that one. If to get maybe a girl into anime, I don't know if you're interested. Now sticking away from that, now I'm going to go away from that and just talk about anime in general, an array, and it doesn't matter what sex you are, I'm just going to say it as it is. Before I'm going to go to another big one, Princess Mononoke, fantastic story. Now this is a Studio Ghibli film. I know it's very well known, you've probably seen it, and if you are an anime fan, of course you've come across a Studio Ghibli movie, no doubt. And they are some of the best. So Princess Mononoke is about a girl, oh, a guy, sorry, I can't remember his name. what was his name? Uh, Ashikata. That's right. That's his name. And he gets poisoned by a demon, and he gets banished from his village, and he will eventually die. And he's trying to find out how to stop this from happening, supposedly. And he meets a girl, Princess Mononoke, who is raised by the wolves, the wolf clan. Of course, that's her supposed adoptive mother. And trying to find a way to save the forest. It's being taken over by the humans who want it cut the trees down for gold, iron. Is what this is about. But it's a fantastic story. And as I said, I haven't got a load of Studio Ghibli films, not because they're rubbish or bad or anything. I just haven't got a lot in there. I've got so many other anime to buy that, and for the most part, I've seen the majority of them. Anyway, so by the way, a whole box set of these movies are coming out on November 17th. So I highly recommend that you get these. Fantastic for a Christmas present for someone who loves anime, and it's just every movie is a brilliant movie from this studio. So I highly recommend picking them up. Okay, next up, to the more action-based Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon faces a guy. It's about a guy who joins up with a company called Black Lagoon, the Lagoon Company, who comes across another character called Revy, who's also known as Two Hands. Lots of action-consuming and kind of anime, and they go about doing certain jobs around town. I can't remember the name of the town. Oh man, but it's really, really good. This anime, highly recommend it. He gets thrown into this world of blood and guts. It's just a delivery service, but they got to kill people to do their job. Shooting, violence, swearing. It's a fantastic anime. It's got two seasons and a supposed movie. But they broke down this supposed movie into 3 episodes. It should have been a 3rd season. I'm just trying to read a little bit about here. He's taken hostage. Okajima, that's it. That's what his name is. Rock. They actually named him Rock in it for just short. You know what I mean? Like just as a nickname. But yeah, he's like the thinker of the group. She's the gunslinger, and then you got this guy Benny, I believe he's like the computer tech, and the black guy, the big black guy. I can't remember his name. Oh man, what is his name? But he's basically the one who runs the whole thing. This little unit, and they go about town. Ranapa, I believe it is. But the anarchy is crazy. It's got errant gangs, drug wars. Again, violence triads. Brilliant series, and I highly recommend this. Again, 2 seasons out and the supposed movie. And yeah, I'm only showing you season 1 right here, so I'm not showing you the same thing over and over. Now you have to bear with me a little bit about these because I'm starting to get into stories which I over the top can't remember off the top of my head. So this one is a bit more of fan service, High School DxD. Now I know if you're into fan service and stuff like that, you probably know this already. From off the top of my head, there's only 12 episodes. Unfortunately, it is funny as hell. I never laugh so much at an anime, an out-and-out joke, swearing, fan service, sexual innuendos, about a house of students. A guy goes on a date and he gets taken by a demon or something, and this girl saves him and brings him into the house, or her clan or unit, whatever. And I think they go around claiming souls or cleansing souls? I cannot remember the actual. A war between heaven and hell, raging on earth, blah blah blah. Fallen angels, long time at devil's house. I cannot remember the actual premise. I don't want to give too much away anyway. I pretty much told you what it is. He basically gets taken into her house and she becomes her servant, as it were. But yeah, it is lots of various characters. They have made season 2. I haven't seen it. It hasn't been dubbed. Whatever. I'm like you. I'm waiting for this to come out. Is it the 3rd season? I don't know. But I know the 2nd one 100%. And yeah, so I highly recommend that. Again, sorry I can't give you too much information on all of them because there is so many to talk about. Breaking away from that, I'm going to go to one of the absolute classics of anime in Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell about... Now this is the season 1. The Major, they call her, is an outfit. It's called Section 9. In the sci-fi world, year 2029, Major Kusanagi Now I'm trying to think now what they're just it's like a task force that they built up, or she's built up with special people like Butto, who's a big brute kind of guy who thinks with his emotions, you know what I mean? An honest cop in, what is his name? I cannot remember his name, god damn it. But you've got a array of characters there, including a sniper, a ladies' man is in there, and they're all head of this group called Section 9 going around investigating. Now this season 1 focuses on a number of different cases, which is a bit annoying because there's one big case that they go on about, and I found it personally kind of complicated. So this is not an anime I would recommend for a first-time person to actually think. I think this was my first series of an anime. It was very addictive and I loved it, but I could not for the life of me understand it too much. It took me ages to get the plot because they broke away from the main story, and it just confused the hell out of me. But yeah, this one follows the Laughing Man. There is season 2, which is actually a lot better than this. I've got to say that it's structured better and all focuses on one story. They've got multiple movies out, and they have done a reboot as well. Now I'm showing you this because this is the original series, and it's fantastic. It is only on DVD, at least at this point. I haven't seen it on Blu-ray, otherwise I would have picked it up. Now this is the same. Now Ghost in the Shell Arise. This is the reboot of it. They changed the character, as you can see, and they changed some of the voice actors. Now thank God that the voice actor of Butto, who particularly my favourite character, played by Richard Epcar, has the guy who is doing Butto has tried to stay true to the voice of the original, which is respectful and very, very good. We don't want to know that these people have been changed, and it is one of the problems I have with anime changing. I'm not going to get into that now, but there you go. So just to know, this is a new art style that they've gone with. It isn't bad. I have seen this, and this is part 1 and 2, and I think it comes out in November, the next part 3 and 4. I can't wait to see it. I'll pre-order it eventually. Breaking away again from, now that was a sci-fi by the way, this one is the fantasy world. Now I know a lot of people hate this, they either love it or hate it. I personally loved it. Sword Art Online season 1. Now we've got season 2 and possibly season 3. I haven't seen season 2 or 3, but I'm going to be watching season 2 eventually. This follows a guy called Kirito. Is it Kirito? I think that's his name. Anyway, he's basically a gamer, and he goes into the game. He gets stuck in this game, or RPG. It's basically a anime version of an RPG where they go around collecting, ranking up, grinding. I can't remember what the hell they called it now. I don't know. But it was really, really good. He meets this girl. She's a badass fighter as well. He turns out to be one of the absolute best in the world. He knows how to grind, and he's got all the levels where the best spots are, to level up in these RPGs. Now, I particularly enjoyed it because I hate RPG games. Not that I hate them, I can't play them. I just find them frustrating and tiring, and I haven't got psychological patience to deal with it, you know what I mean? So this was a great little look into the world of RPGs, and I really, really, really did enjoy it. It is popular with a lot of people, but there are some haters out there, and that's fair enough, you know what I mean? Not everyone's going to like this particular kind of anime, but hell, there is season 2 kind of went a bit shitty in my opinion with fairies. They changed the premise of, you know what I mean? But whatever, they made that choice. I can't wait for season 3, but again, highly recommend this. Next up, you all have heard of this one, no doubt. I got the Brotherhood version, Full Metal Alchemist. Now, this is a great anime series, 50 episodes. Is it 64 episodes? Sorry. Yeah, 64 episodes, 25 hours long. So you're going to get your money's worth, complete season. At least this is the DVD version. You can buy the Blu-ray version in 2 parts, which again pisses me off. I've mentioned this before. Part 1, 25 episodes or 30 episodes, and then like 2 months later I get part 2, ridiculous. But anyway, this follows Edward and his brother Elric, is it? I think that's the name of them. Edward Elric? Alfonso. Yeah, Edward Elric is the main guy, and Alfonso is his little brother in the big suit of armor. The whole story of this is they are into alchemy, creating stuff, using the iron and metals and various stuff like that kind of scenario, and they lose, the little brother loses his arm, his whole body when he tries to bring his mother back. This guy loses his arm and a leg, and they're trying to delve back into the world of alchemy, to get their mother back. Well, that was the original plan when trying to do this. Then they had to sacrifice part of their body to do this, and it failed miserably, and now they're trying to get their bodies back, well, the other parts at least anyway. It's a great series, full of laughs. Character development, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say it's over there. I don't think they really changed to a point. I mean, the story's great. The relationship between him and his cousin, is it his cousin or no, his friend, doesn't really pan out. It never really goes into anything, but it ain't really based on relationship. That's just more like a side thing. You'll enjoy the ride anyway. It's a great ending as well. Lots of great enemies, lots of characters, and it doesn't. I wouldn't say that there's no real filler episodes in my opinion. It's all part of the story. I don't believe there's any real side story there. It's all, you know, solid foundation. It's highly recommended. 64 episodes. Next up, going back to some more sci-fi here. I believe, yeah, Gantz. Gantz is a guy who follows a high school student called K. Corona, I believe his name is, or Corona. I don't know. They just call him Corona. He's a selfish individual who walking along one day, and then he sees somebody die or gonna die, and he gets ployed into saving someone, and in doing that, he saves some guy, random guy he didn't want to save to begin with, and he ends up dying himself along with his old school friend, and they're thrown into this world of aliens. Well, he's thrown into a room. Let's be honest, they're thrown into a room in which they are with total strangers who have also died, and they're trying to figure out where are they? Are they in purgatory, you know, before they go to heaven or hell? But they can see Tokyo Tower, so they believe they're in Japan or or wherever it is. And they're trying to figure this out, and then they get transported with these special suits, and they have to fight aliens. And it's like a game to a point. Whoever gets back. Whoever kills the alien gets most points, etc., etc. Whoever reaches 100 points gets to escape the world. The ending is a bit of a mystery. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people have speculated it's a glitch or something like that or other. The manga is still ongoing or what have you. I would like a season 2. It hasn't happened, but hey, it's a good anime, and I'm going to recommend this to you. It's got lots of violence, characters, death, blood, you know. But yeah, it's a good anime. I'm going to recommend that one to you as well. This anime is, I think of 2000, it's called, Samurai Champloo. I just want to get that name right. Follows a girl whose restaurant gets burnt down, and she meets these two characters. One of them a crazy, ass fighter who will drink, steal, and do whatever to get what he wants, and, you know, he's got the ability to fight and take on anyone. He's kind of crazy. The girl's kind of cute and innocent, you know what I mean? A bit of a, you know, a bit of a dunce in some ways, I suppose. And the other guy is like a calm samurai who has a dark past, or, you know, he keeps himself to himself with respect, dignity, and honor kind of thing. And they go into this journey. It's more or less about the journey. Now, for the journey for the girl, it's to, I think she saves them, I believe it is. And the two guys owe her, and they're going to escort her to her father, who who was believed to be dead, apparently alive or something or other. The journey is where the anime takes place. With this, it's about the journey. The ending for me, kind of poor. I didn't like the ending, but it is one of the last animes that was drawn or coloured in by hand, I believe it is. Dare I say? Before it went full digital. So it's a great. The art's fantastic. The voice acting is great. The journey's brilliant, the ending not so, but it is a great anime, and I'm going to recommend it to you anyway, out on Blu-ray as well. As I said, now, I maybe didn't say this in the beginning, but now there isn't a top 10 recommendation animes, this ain't a top 10 in any way, shape or form. This is just anime I'm going to recommend to you anyway, regardless of where you're at. This one here is very interesting. This is, what was her name, the main protagonist? Henrietta. This follows a girl, this girl here, called Henrietta. She is a little gunslinger girl. She's now this is about a bunch of girls that are in tragedy in their lifetime. Like maybe one was raped, maybe one was hit by a car and couldn't be fixed. Maybe, you know, one was, you know, I don't know, had something really wrong with her when she was born. Anyway, this agency takes these little girls, fixes them up in secrecy, by the way, and make them into assassins. A little girl squad of assassins. Now, sounds kind of gimmicky in a lot of ways, but it is actually quite good. Each episode has an individual story about the girls and where they came from, with character development, or to a point with their handlers or bigger brothers. That's what they go around. So they'd be like, just say me, I'm an agent with one of these little girls who have the ability, and they are willing to sacrifice themselves for me. Or just say, for example, you know, and protecting their handlers. Their number one priority is to protect me. They are made, I wouldn't say all into robots, but there's parts of them have been conditioned, and they do things automatically without even thinking. You know what I mean? Instinctively, protection, weapons procurement, killing, snap of a finger kind of thing. Like just that easy to them. It is a fantastic anime. It is brilliant. It is very unique. They have a season 2. Season 2 isn't very as good, I've got to be honest with you. But then again, second seasons ain't that good with anime anyway, or not all the time. And it always comes back to the first season that gets you hooked and makes you want to see the second season anyway. Some flop, some don't. It's hit and miss, you know what I mean? Again, we all know this one. The only disappointing thing about this one is they haven't made a second season. High School of the Dead. Lots of fan service in this, but even if you take the fan service out, a lot of people complain. Oh, the fan service is too much, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Try and ignore the fan service and just watch the story. The story is fantastic. The premise is amazing. And I wish it may long continue. I wish the guy, whoever made it, apparently from what I last read, he was kind of ill. And I don't know, maybe they ain't got the budget. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked into it. But I would love a season 2 of this. This follows a guy who's in school with a bunch of hot girls. Every girl in this has big tits, again with fan service here, and the zombie attacks the school and everyone gets wiped out apart from a busload of school kids, and they have to group together different characters. The ninja girl who's hot and samurai skills, he's got a baseball bat and he's just like, you know, instinct killer. He's the main protagonist. His so-called girl or love interest, a nurse with big tits, etc., etc. And it goes on like this, and they have a journey across town to see what happens to their families. Things happen in this journey, saving people, people betraying. You know, it's very interesting, very good. Only 12 episodes. It is disappointing. It's just quite cheap at £10. I've got the OVA version of this as well, included in this Blu-ray. It isn't very good. Well, it isn't dubbed, which pissed me off alone, and it isn't that good, to be honest with you, at least in my opinion. Anyway, but yeah, highly recommend that anyway. The story is fantastic. Just wish they made a season 2. Getting down to the last 2 animes, I know I haven't got that big of a collection when I look at it overall. This one is Soul Eater. Soul Eater is about Maka, who works for death and has to create a death site by collecting so many souls, with a guy here called Soul, ironically. I believe that's his name. Anyway, various enemies in here, very cartoony, comedic, lots of characters, Black Star being one of them, who, you know, just all self-centered and about himself, not really caring about collecting souls. Lots of fighting and comic action there. Trying to think about the actual journey itself. You know, Death the Kid being one of my favourite characters in it, who is crazy about symmetry. Anything out of line, you know, he goes absolutely insane and can't help but, you know, correct it. I mean, if he came in here and saw my shelf all fucked up, it would drive him nuts to the point where he would rearrange it alphabetically just because it would piss him off. You know what I mean? I mean, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, that's just one joke there, and that's an ongoing theme because it's just one of his quirks or his pet peeves is maybe the word I'm looking for there. But it is highly recommended. I think it's got 51 episodes on 8 discs. Now, this cost me 50 quid, or 45, something like that, but it's well worth it. No, not regretted it. Now, you can get this for about 25 now. So, yeah. Okay, now this one going back to fan service. I'm going to end with fan service. Well, more or less, Sekirei. Sekirei is, I saw 1 or 2 episodes and just bought the whole season 1 and 2, both seasons. It is a brilliant series about a bunch of girls, I believe. I ain't got too much information on this off the top of my head. Hold on. This girl here is around town, this particular town, and there's a bunch of other girls who fight, who has fighting style, and what have you. And I believe they're supposed to fight each other to the death, or when they come across each other, or competing with each other, I believe. And they come across this one guy, and he has this girl with him, right? So it's like, oh, okay, he's like just, again, the protagonist. He's got this hot girl on his shoulder, that's cool. He ends up getting 3 or 4 and living with them. And it's about their day-to-day life kind of thing. And they've got jealousy, and they're competing with each other, you know, wanting him to sleep in the same bed with him, and or the room, and this, that, and the other. It goes on like this. It is quite funny. 2 seasons. There should be a 3rd. There is not a 3rd, from what I understand at this point, which is disappointing. I would love to see a 3rd. It is just a funny anime, and it is really, really good. Okay, so that's my personal collection. I am going to recommend recommend to you. Now, I have got a bunch of others here that I am going to be a bit sketchy on the details. Again, I have written them down to the best of my ability, and I am planning to see these myself. There is a few. Unfortunately, I haven't got them all right. Kill a Kill action, I believe. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen it, so again, I'm just going to thingy on it. Touch on it. Girl seeks revenge for her. Was it looking for her dad? Yeah, seeks revenge for her dad and takes on her mother and the president of the school. I don't know anything about it, but it looks good. But hey, Comic Party. Now this one is a very interesting anime. I streamed this myself, and I really want to see this. I don't think it's available in the UK, unfortunately. This is a comedy/drama about what it takes to become an animation or comic book drawer or manga drawer. He has to basically draw a manga and then start promoting it and taking it out and about to comic conventions, and he's trying to attract people like me and you. So it's very, very interesting. The process and how hard it is, you know, and he has some friends along with him, and it's just a journey, actually, and it really, really is good. I think they've only got one season, I'm not too sure. But again, I really want to see that, and I'm happy enough to recommend that one to you. Even if you just stream it, it is pretty good. Blue Exorcist. Now, Blue Exorcist I haven't bought, and I don't plan on buying, not because it was bad, I didn't like it enough. But I'm going to go fantasy. It's a fantasy about a bunch of people who are trying to take on the devil. They're exorcists, obviously. They're trying to exorcise demons, as it were. And then the main issue of the story is the son of the devil is in their school. He's been put there, and he hates the devil. Obviously, he found out he grew up with an exorcist father, but his father is actually the devil, and of course he hates the devil, and he wants to take him on. So all the students are wary of him. Like, well, we've got the son of Satan here. Can we trust him? And that's pretty much what it is. It is pretty good, but again, I streamed it rather than watch it. What else? Knights of Sidonia is a sci-fi about a guy who. Now this is a space. Now I don't really like a lot of space, as I said in like many times, but this one actually convinced me. It is one of the absolute best. You can see this on Netflix. Knights of Sidonia. Season 2 is already out. I have seen it. And it is really, really good. Basically, he is at the bottom of the city of the space station, and he gets caught stealing food from the rest of the world. He is unaware of all this. The rest of the world. He's been kept like kind of living with his grandfather, training to take on these monsters in space, as it were, and he gets dragged out and put into a school of fighter pilots kind of thing where they're training to do this, and he has to mix in, and they're picking on him and stuff like that. If you want to see my full review of that, I do have a full review of it, and I highly recommend going to watch that. I can't really expand too much on this. Again, this video, is going to be forever. Sword Art Online 2, I can't really go into, but I am going to be trying to watch it. I don't know anything about it, but I know it's out. I am going to want to see it. Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is one my friend recommended to me, and it has been out a while. I know it isn't dubbed, I believe. Oh, no, it is dubbed, and it's coming out in the UK, so I will be trying to pick that up. A guy goes on a date, and the girl supposedly is a ghoul and tries to attack him or what have you, and she dies. And a ghoul is someone who consumes human flesh. Anyway, he ends up turning into a ghoul himself and has to consume human flesh as well. Very interesting, but I don't know beyond that. Full Metal Panic. Full Metal Panic is a comedy. It is about a guy trying to infiltrate a school. I think he has to protect a young girl, and she can't know he's there. It is hilarious. I highly recommend it. The price, I think it is coming out on a free DVD box set on Amazon, but it's complete bullshit. They want £136 for it. I'm not paying that. That's fucking insane. I don't understand why that's costing that much, but there you go. But it is really good, and the comic consumes. He gets his ass kicked. He's a cop in a high school. It is hilarious. It consumes there. Future Diaries. Future Diaries. Oh, now this one is. I've written a lot about this to a point. I only saw 2 episodes, and I was already convinced about buying it. I was like, oh my god, it's fantastic. Why isn't the rest of it dubbed? But it is coming out on Amazon. I can't remember what month it is. I mean, you can check my Amazon. My anime release date video if you want as well. I might leave that in the description below or in an notion above here or what have you if you're interested in that. But that is about a guy who's isolated himself, and he gets this phone one day. He talks to himself, and he gets this phone that tells the future to a point, a certain certain futures, and there's a bunch of people doing this. There are certain phones that do certain different things, and this one girl was quite obsessed with him, and the actual goal is to kill each other at the end of the 90 days to become the king of space and time. It sounds stupid, but it's actually pretty good. Lots of violence, lots of blood, lots of craziness. The chick's absolutely insane. I'm picking it up just for that. Like I said, 2 episodes in, and I was already hooked and wanted to see it. You know, even if you ignore that side of that space and time shit, the rest of it's still got to be pretty good. So, you know, as I said, I've only seen 2 episodes. I'm jumping in. I'm happy to advise it, and I'm sure most of you've seen it anyway to a point if you like subbed, and that's cool. Cowboy Bebop. Again, this is a classic anime. I should have seen this. It's so old now to a point, probably 2004, 2005. Cowboy Bebop, a bounty hunters. It's about bunch of bounty hunters, you know, getting money. Some guy spends all the money, you know, the main protagonist. They go around space doing various jobs to, you know, again, earn money and what have you. I don't know too much about it, but there you go. It's one that's on my list. Blood Lad. Now, Blood Lad is a fantastic anime. It's quite interesting. It's on Netflix, 12 episodes. I'm Richard Epcar playing a voice of one of the enemies in it later on in the actual series. This is about a guy who's in hell. He owns a territory, and he's pretty much like me and you, or a typical anime fan, or a otaku, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Someone who's obsessed with Japan, and he basically loves anime, games, and he wants to go to Japan, literally. And he's like, this guy's in hell. He's crazy. He's like, you know, most anime fans are to a point. You know what I mean? That is being the heaven, Japan heaven of anime and that kind of industry. So, you know, basically the story is a girl comes from Earth and comes down to hell, and she shouldn't be there, and she comes in, and like he's already obsessed with her, like, oh my god, you've got the latest PSP or PSV or whatever it is, or it looks like that anyway, or DS, whatever you want to say. And he's pretty, you know, well, what's this happening, you know, about this? What's this? How do you use this? I've never seen this before. He's obsessed with her, and it's hilarious to watch. And he ends up protecting her and trying to get her back to, I think, Earth or whatever. And he wants to go to Japan himself, I believe. It doesn't, I mean, I want season 2, but, you know, I think the people in hell are trying to stop him. I can't remember too much about it. But off the top of my head, but it is a really good anime and I highly recommend it. But yeah, so that's Blood Lad. Again, that is on Amazon. Attack on Titan, pretty much, you know, it's already popular. I've seen 2 episodes on Netflix. I am going to buy it. Lots of death in that. Titans attack the cities. The people build up a massive wall around their cities to protect themselves. This big giant one comes round, and they use equipment, lines, ropes and stuff to take down the Titans. They have a live action movie coming out of it. I don't know, and a season 2. I think there's a season 2 or a video game coming out. I'm not sure if it's season 2, but I know there's definitely a video game coming out on it as well. So I highly recommend that one as well. I have seen part of it, but again, haven't seen the ending. No Game No Life, about a group of gamers challenged to a game of chess by the gods of games, and they win, and then the gods of games get pissed off, I suppose, and they put them into a world of gaming. So basically everything around that particular world relates to gaming. So that'd be pretty interesting for us gamers to see what that's actually like. I haven't seen it again, so it's an anime that stands out to me. What else? Oh yeah, and their mission is to usurp the gods of games, obviously, beat them at this own game. The next one up is Are My Goddess. Yes, Are My Goddess. It's an oldish anime, actually. Very innocent in many ways, not perverted and everything, and that's fine. It's about a guy who's unlucky in love, and he joins a group of mechanics. He fixes up bikes and stuff like that, and he one day gets a wish from heaven, I believe it is, and an angel comes down by the name of Belle Dandy, and she's very cute and innocent. She's done that old style anime style where she's got this diamond on her head. I don't know, that's just the old style anime. You'll notice that in the older animes, the way they've drawn characters. Anyway, it's more like a slice of life. She gives them a wish, and of course he doesn't believe her at first, and in the midst of all this, you know, have you decided your wish, he blurts out that I want you to stay with me, and then she has to stay with him until the so-called contract ends. There is season 2, and it's basically a slice of life. She's learning about life on Earth, and she has some jealousy problems. It's quite interesting to watch. It is good. First series is good. Second one ain't bad. Whatever. Girls and Panzer. about a group of girls who control battle tanks. This is quite a tactical anime, apparently, or tactical in their pursuits, actually quite intelligent in their tactics of using tanks on like a base or something on a big ship. I haven't seen it, but it looks very interesting and unique. I have seen reviews of it, but I can't remember too much about it. But it's one of those ones, again, on my list too, I watch. Orin High School Host Club. This is about a girl who pretends to be a boy and goes into a rich school, and it is hilarious, man. Only 12 episodes. They're really posh, and she joins a club for boys, and only the most beautiful people can join this club, beautiful boys, and the girls have tea with the guys. It's really weird in that aspect. She ends up being the most popular boy, but of course she is a girl, and they try to keep this a secret. At one particular point, she is not rich, so she has tea, normal tea. They have minted tea from somewhere or other. And this rich guy says, and I quote, "I am going to drink this commoner's tea." And all the rich people, like, or club members, look at him and give him a round of applause. Like, what the fuck is going on? Are you that fucking rich that you... Oh, man. So that's just one joke. And it goes on 12 episodes. It's only £10 on Amazon. I highly recommend that. This next... one is called Another. It's like a horror-based one, I believe, about a girl who, a guy who moves to a small town, and a girl is ignored, and she looks very creepy-like. And apparently the school is cursed. Back in years ago, 1978 or something or other, a girl died, and the class pretended that she was still there. And in the school photo, she ended up being in the school photo still. When they left the space for her, her ghost appeared. Very creepy. And quite dark and interesting. Has a good payoff at the end, I must say, in gore. It's more like a mystery. Okay, now Death Note. Death Note is an anime. My friend hates this one. He don't like the art style. Bollocks to that. It's a fantastic anime about a guy a high school student who's bored. He's very intelligent and smart. His father is a police officer, and he picks up a Death Note. A death god has dropped from the death god world or what have you. And basically it's a book that enables you to kill anyone and write in their full name in the book. As long as you picture their face and name at the same time, they kill in 30 seconds. It's a heart attack as default, but you can pick in any particular way they die. Hanging themselves, suicide, pretty unique and odd. And let's face it, who wouldn't want a book like that to get rid of our enemies, right? I mean, come on. But hey, so it's a very interesting story. He becomes this point if he's trying to be judge, jury, and executioner, and he faces off with his detective called L, who at the end of the day, when you're trying to play judge, jury, and executioner, you're still just a murderer, and it plays on this like, this is L, the greatest detective in the world kind of thing scenario. You're doing this, but it's not real justice. You're still a murderer, and he's trying to stop him. You know what I mean? Okay, well that's about it for this vlog actually. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my other content. Oh, but remember my 3 rules, and this is very important, my 3 rules of anime, and I want everyone who's an anime fan, maybe you disagree or agree with these. So my first rule is stream the animes you want to watch, because you don't want to watch anime and then think it's shit and then fork out money for it, right? That's one, okay? That's my advice. That's an honest opinion. I recommend you do it. That's one. 2. Buy the anime that you love. So if you like an anime, you see Death Note, Future Diary, whatever, and you like them, then by all means support that anime and buy them on Blu-ray or DVD, whatever your format may be or whatever you can afford. But yeah, please make sure you actually support the animes that you love in this industry. Don't just take the streams and just watch them and then use them that way. I mean, it's important that they get money. I mean, it's bad enough to support these. They're very niche anyways in the UK and USA. So they, you know what I mean? Bringing them over here, we want to make them say, look, there's profit over here. You've made a good project. You've put in this effort. We are happy with this. We are happy to give you money over the counter for this. And that's all well and good. And I think that's the way it should be. I build up a nice collection here. I'm hoping to add to it of certain animes, etc., etc. I know that ain't all of you, but again, that's just my general opinion and recommendation. And finally, just because you like anime, you might like a certain amount of anime, it don't have to be expensive. Shop around, look for anime cheap elsewhere. I saw like Blood Lad on Amazon for £46. Amazon are often very good. I thought, I'm not paying £46 for an anime which is 12 episodes long. I saw it on Zavi.com for £26. Bang, just saved myself half the fucking money. So shop around, everybody. Don't just look at 3 or 4 shops and compare prices. as always. But yeah, so question of the day for this vlog. Those are the 3 principles, by the way, of anime, at least for most things, but particularly anime in this video. But please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And the question of the day, as I said, is going to be: what animes would you recommend to people? Have I missed any out? Do you disagree with my list? Do you agree with my list? You know, there is no 1 to 10. It was just all anime. Doesn't matter. But I recommend you go out and watch or pick up or even stream to see if you like them. And let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching the video. As I said, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.